Hey, you guys, how's it going? I've missed you all so much. Feels like it's been forever. And I kind of been putting off doing this farewell or final thoughts live because I kind of felt like everybody was just, like kind of over it. So I've been putting it off and waiting for a trial, and you know how it goes. And plus, real life. Um, I want to say a really cool thing that happened to me over the weekend. I video chat every day with my daughter and my granddaughter. And the other, I'm working, trying to teach her how to blow a kiss, where you put your hand on your mouth and you go, "Mwah," like that. And out of nowhere, she leans into the phone to kiss me. And it was the sweetest, most precious thing that I've ever seen. It's sweeter and more precious than when her mom, my own daughter, actually gave me her, when she was a baby and kissed me for the first time, when they finally when they start to show affection. It was better than that. And it's weird how that is. But anyway, that was just like a super cool thing. And I've just been spending a little bit of time, just like, oh, sorry, Alice. Sorry about that, babe. I scared the cat. Sorry. You guys know I'm gonna be paying for that later. Alice is a thug. But anyway, so I've kind of just been, spending my time chilling out and waiting for another good trial to bring to you guys. But in the meantime, I did watch Stranger Things season 4. And let me just say this. If you have not been watching Stranger Things, period, you're missing out. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. And they're doing it in 2 parts. So they've got the first, there's 7, there's gonna be 9 total. So there's 7 episodes are out now. And then on July 5th will be the last 2 will be episodes 8 and 9, but they are said to be feature length episodes each. And I will say that there are episodes in the first volume of season 4 that are far longer than an hour, but they are so freaking good. I mean, I just love that show. Anyway, let me say hi to everybody. Hey, Shay Petite, Kez Chick. There's me. I don't need to say hi to me. Hey, Shamada. Hey, Molson Man. How you doing, cool cats and kittens? It's your friend Carol Baskin here. Coolest Reviews. Coolest Reviews premiered a video Saturday night that was really, really good. You guys should go check it out, faux show. Who else is in here? Let me see. Let me see. Hey, Nadine. Allie79. So good to see all you guys. Turtle Dove. Christine G. That's me. Oh gosh, I'm not going to. BR the Star. Hey. Oh, I'm going to say it wrong. Shanyata. Oh, let's see. Better Call Tour said to say big thank you. Oh, she's so sweet. You guys, I have to say this. If you didn't catch uh me and Better Call Tour when we heard the verdict and all that it's a long live, but it's so freaking worth it. I had the best time. Her chat is so welcoming and really reminded me a lot of our chat. So and she has great content. She is hilarious. Mel made a special appearance. It was just so fun. And the people over there are just good, really good people. Really, really good people. I think you guys would really, really enjoy it over there. I had a blast. Hey, Yogi Jaya. Hey, Jody, it's cool. Good to see everybody. I'm so glad everybody is back. I missed you all. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. Okay, so before we get into the last little things of the Johnny Depp trial, I want to tell you guys the trial that I am going to be covering. Hey, Momo. Next. So it's out of Florida, and it is the state of Florida versus let me make sure I say her name correctly because oh, hey, Nui and honey, I didn't see you, babe. Hi, welcome. Because I know that this is a bit of a name, and I I know when I read it the first time, like in my brain, um, it was hold on a second. I feel like this is how you spell it. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay. It is the state of Florida versus Danielle Redlick, and I had transposed um the D and the L. So I read it a different way. I'm sure you guys can imagine, which also made me laugh. Now, the reason that I picked this trial is because um, she is accused of stabbing her husband with a kitchen knife. Okay. But that's not why I chose it. I chose it because her husband was once her stepfather. And I mean, it's going to be like a really hard. I mean, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial is a hard trial to follow up because that trial had like everything in it. You know, it had the law, it had the sidebars, it had scandal, it had learning about, um, civil trial. It had everything, right? And it had freaking Johnny Depp. Like, hello. But so I was like, when I saw that headline, that it was the next trial on a few of the services dockets. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to know how you how you go how that happened. So oh, really, Molson man. See, you know me. Now, I don't that's the thing about this. Me, I like to just watch the trial. I don't like to have a whole lot of backstory because I like to watch it from the jury's perspective. That's the whole notes from the jury box still, So I don't like to look. I always forget about the disclaimer, Christine. I'm not good at trigger warnings, but yeah, look, my whole channel is a trigger warning. Okay. It is. I cover true crime and I got a slick mouth. It is what it is. My whole channel is. Um, so yeah, that's what we're going to do next because I need to know the answers to these questions. So that's the one we're doing next. Today was I know that you like having all of the backstory, Shmita, because you're Shmita. And all right. Well, thanks for popping in, Turtle Dove. I'm glad you popped in. Good to see you. I know you do, Shmita, because you're Shmita. But I spell which one? It's Redlick, Redlick. It was a lot for me to not, because when I first read it, I was like, yeah, I'm glad that you looked a little bit into it, but it just sounded interesting to me just for that component alone, right? So, yeah, I I need to find out all about that because and I'm gonna have to practice saying her name because I totally hey sugar bake, good to see you. Totally wasn't gonna say it right. I knew I wasn't. Now, so we all know what the verdict is. It's everybody's talking about it. It's been everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. But also there's been this component about Kathleen Zellner, which hang on just one second. I can't talk and do it at the same time. Okay. So recently, there was this whole like component about Kathleen Zellner, right? And I was thinking about it and I was like, well, wait. Um, oh crap. Hold on, I did the wrong thing. I was thinking about it and I was like, wait, no, because that's not right. I talked about that. And why is it doing this? Hold on. Um, why is it doing, why I talked about that. So why is that coming up now? So I wanted to show you guys this just so you could see. Who's on StreamYard? Who dat? What's up, Shmita?
Nothing.
What you doing? Hey, Jean Duffy, good to see you. AJ, good to see you. Good to see you. I didn't know you was coming up. What you doing?
Well, I'm in the porch having a smoke, drinking a coffee.
What are you doing drinking coffee at this hour? Just kidding.
Because I'm tired. That's my biggest flex right now. Drinking a coffee and going to sleep.
Oh my God. All right. I think I have it right where it needs to be. Hold on. All right. So anyway, I had remembered that I talked about Kathleen Zellner, right? I remember very distinctly. It was from my very first stream. Oh crap. I see I'm so rusty. Hold on a minute. And I talked about I was like, why haven't I seen Kathleen Zellner? And so I just want to play that just so you guys all I know you believe me, but it's just for me because I like that. All right, here we go. Um but what I will say is I was looking for a specific attorney in the courtroom and I did not see her. I was looking for Kathleen Zellner because she had tweeted a couple of weeks ago that she was joining the legal team and I just expected to see her and I didn't. Um, so I was a little surprised about that because I was curious about how that was going to play out. Because, all right, so that's enough of me. Basically, it is what I said. And I've been thinking about this and I was thinking, hey, DTC Prime, um, I was thinking about it because I was shocked when she wasn't there at opening, and I was, but then the trial happened, right? And there was so much every single day almost, and oh, okay, Turtle Dove, I'm glad you're back. Um, but anyway, so I was then I got wrapped up in the trial and I kind of forgot about it, right? But then the verdict happened, and then there was the press, and there there was they did interviews, and Kathleen Zellner, she was on Law and Crime, and she gave an interview or whatever, and then there was Elaine, my personal fave, and I will say this, though. We're going to play some of Elaine because I feel like I need to comment on it. But I will throw you a bone, Elaine, and say that I'm pleased to see that you didn't wear pastel for your TV interview. That was a wise choice. I don't know who got a hold of you at the last moment and told you not to do that, but thanks to them. They will be getting a nice Google 4-star Google review from me just for that alone. But um so oh, are you in Winter Park, Turtle Dove? Because that's where the next trial is at. Is out of well, yeah, that's where the crime took place, was in Winter Park. But anyway, so I was thinking about it, right? And because because then here comes Elaine, and she's talking about, oh, of course, Amber's going to file an appeal, which is what I. So then I was like, okay, so maybe, um that's why Zellner was hired on in the beginning, just in case either Johnny Depp needed to file an appeal or Amber Heard was going to file an appeal. Zellner is the best appellate attorney you can ever have, because she will find anything and everything. I am so sorry that you were stood up, babe. Oh, that's right. You told me you were in Naples. That's right. Yeah, the mosquitoes are already on there. Yeah, they're already acting a fool. Anyway, so I thought, okay, well, maybe that's what he had her as a consultant for. And but at this point, and I looked today, I just checked right before I came live. Amber has not filed an appeal. And I'm not even, I know Elaine says that she's gonna, but I can't imagine what her appeal would be based on, quite frankly. I mean, unless it was maybe some error, which there are always errors in trials. That's a commonplace thing, but I cannot see that there is an error so egregious that it would warrant her getting granted an appeal. I just don't see her being able. I just don't see it happening. Oh, cripes! I need to learn how to spell. So that's that. I want to let's go. Let's watch Elaine. Let me see which one this is. Huh? There's two of them. Well, we'll watch CBS this morning.
So, does this mean that it's Amber that told Elaine to go on to these shows and do these interviews? Because by their standards, the other guy was liable because he was representing Depp for his words. But Johnny must
Well,
have told him to say it.
well, okay. So what they were okay, yeah, technically you're right. The same could be said about Elaine in this situation, because the argument was that um Walden, acting in his capacity as an attorney, was Johnny Depp's agent and was speaking for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
um that was the argument. However, I'm not so sure that that would really stick in this situation with Elaine, and I'll tell you why. Because Waldman wasn't giving an interview after he had been in a trial, right? That's what Elaine was doing. And she can answer questions about what went on in the trial. Could they hold her to the same? Should she say anything? Yeah, I mean, they could, in theory, do it, but it would really be, it's kind of expensive and a waste of time. And the truth of the matter is that that the way that the jury found was, wasn't really about Johnny Depp. It was more of a slap on the wrist to Waldman. It had, because the other counts pertaining to her defamation were denied. And so I think that, um, you know, I think, I mean, attorneys are your representatives. So, yes, they do speak for you in the courtroom is where they're really supposed to be doing the speaking, but there are attorneys that do give press interviews. And so, yeah, I mean, it's difficult. So, yeah, but I want us to watch this because I've watched like little clips here and there, but not the whole thing. So I'm going to have to pause it because they're going to try to strike me. But I wanted to play this first just in case there's some shenanigans because it is fair use. But just in case, then I'll just clip it out because I've decided I'm not even going to. It takes too long to write the appeal and I'm too lazy. I mean, I don't want to spend my time that way. All right. I'd rather spend my time talking to you guys or researching the cases for you guys. All right, here we go.
A Virginia jury's decision to side with Johnny Depp in his defamation lawsuit is drawing both condemnation and praise. The verdict came after 6 weeks of very dramatic testimony from both sides. She claimed that he abused her while he said she was the abuser. In his reaction, Depp wrote, "The goal of bringing the case was to reveal the truth, and that truth never perishes." Elaine Charlson Bredehoff is the attorney for Amber Heard and is with us now. And we should mention, we did also reach out to Johnny Depp's team, but they declined to be interviewed this morning. Elaine, thank you. We're so very glad you're here.
Thank you.
We heard Amber's reaction to the verdict yesterday. This seems to be a huge victory for Johnny Depp this morning.
Yeah, a major setback for women.
Well, I'm going to have to stop you right there, Elaine.
Hell.
It is Elaine. First of all, now she's mixing it up. Let's just take a moment here. She's definitely got her hairs did. There's definitely a blowout happening. There's product in it. It's nice and smooth. So good on you, Elaine. And now she's working backwards. Hey, the analyst, good to see you. Hey, Tony, good to see you too, babe. Now she's decided to pair the to wear the black on top and the color under the blazer. Look at you, just zooming into trendy outfits, Elaine. Well played, ma'am. All right, here we go. Your makeup looks good too, although I don't like a bold red on you. The bold lip is a little too much. Something a little with some shimmer might be good.
For women inside the courtroom and outside the courtroom.
Because
basically what this said, Amber had an enormous amount of evidence, although a lot of it was suppressed in this case as opposed to the UK. But look at all the women who have no evidence, all these women who suffer from domestic violence, domestic abuse, and they don't have evidence. And basically what this jury said is unless you pull out your cell phone and you tape record your spouse beating you, you're out of luck.
But Elaine, I think it was...
I'm going to have to stop you right there also, Elaine, because let me say this. I don't think that's what the jury said at all, ma'am. At all. Not even close. Okay. The reason the jury had an issue is because she recorded and took pictures of everything except her injuries.
Yeah, but the police even testified that they saw no injuries on her.
Right. But there were yes, but then but Schmeda, to be fair, there were times when she claims that she was injured that the police were not called. The police were at the very last incident. Okay, so we have the one time, but then we have all the other times where she claimed, and some of those.
Even if she didn't send them to people, she'd have them. She'd have
Well,
pictures.
what would be the point of documenting a mirror but taking care not to catch your reflection in the mirror? What would be the point of documenting anything other than your face after he had potentially broken your nose, or at least hit you hard enough to make you think that your nose was broken? That's the point. That's what the jury was struggling with, because, and this is the thing that Elaine forgets. Her pal and partner, Rottenborn, told the jury that they don't have, hey, Max 2002, not to leave their common sense at the door. And they didn't. Common sense would tell you, if you're photographing for whatever reason it was that was in her mind, that she decided that she was going to photograph that mirror. Okay. Because remember, that is where the that's the same trip where the SA took, where her feet took place, where her back was all cut up, her feet no, not her back. Her feet were all cut up with the glass, all those things. Right. And
she took a handful of sleeping pills and then got up and made him a coffee.
I don't understand. I'd like to know what sleeping pills she took. Because there are some types of sleeping pills, Unisom, for example, which is basically the same thing that's in Benadryl. All right. You can take that. You can take a handful of that. But if you take a handful of Ambien, like an actual sleeping aid, you're not waking up to make anybody coffee. Once you sleep, you're asleep. So that's weird, but whatever. Anyway, so that's what the jury was saying. And I find it so, I just can't. Let me just play her because she just irritates me. And we're going to be here for 7 hours. This is a 6-minute interview.
Bigger than that, because you had the evidence, as you say, but they did not believe her. Why do you think they did not believe her?
Because she lied.
I think that a lot of that was that it was Johnny Depp. I think the celebrity status.
But she's a celebrity too.
And it's not only not believing her.
But she's a celebrity too.
Right.
But you have to remember, it's a tale of two trials. All the evidence came in the UK. Mr. Depp brought that one. The burden of proof was on the son in the UK, because they had called him a wife beater and talked about the domestic violence. He had his opportunity to tell the truth then. And a 3-week trial, he lost. The judge found 12 acts of domestic violence, including sexual violence. And that came out November 2, 2020. We weren't allowed to tell the jury that.
Well, it's a different system, and the judge, it wasn't a jury, it was a judge. The judge said it was substantially true, and that is significant, and I think surprised a lot of legal analysts. But, in this case, the jury not only didn't believe Amber Heard, but in ruling that she acted with actual malice, that means she had the intent to cause harm, right? That's a pretty high standard to have proven.
And it's pretty amazing, since the op-ed never even mentioned Mr. Depp. You have to remember.
Elaine. Okay. First of all, I'm going to stop you right there. Please stop using the term you have to remember. It was the day before. Nobody has forgotten, and we sat through a 6-week trial. Just stop that right now, ma'am. Okay? Period. Yeah. The truth of the matter is, it isn't and that is an insult to victims. It is an insult to people. Look, there's probably a small percentage of people out there, right, who were going to side with Johnny Depp no matter what the.
Hello?
Sorry, I unplugged my mic instead of unplugging the charger. See, I'm still rusty. There's probably a small percentage of people, right, who were going to side with Johnny Depp regardless of what the evidence was, regardless of what they saw or heard presented in that courtroom. They were going to be like Team Johnny, the end, right? They were not going to care. Okay. But that's a very, very small percentage. And for me personally, I didn't even know all of the details from the UK trial. I barely knew anything about the UK trial other than he had lost. And I certainly did not understand the way that the UK does trials like this, right? Because I'm not in the UK, so I don't have any idea about that. But anyway, I'm clicking something. Crap. No, I don't want to leave. Hold on. So anyway, the point of the matter is it's an insult to people. It's an insult to the jury, really, because they're the ones that were tasked. I could get up and walk out of the, I could turn the trial off. I
packed
could,
off my house.
right. I could do all kinds of shit. They're the ones that had to sit there day in and, day, every single day. Right. And furthermore, Elaine, if you'll remember, or you have to remember, that the ACLU got up there and testified. And when they got up there and testified, to the tune of $86,000, they're now wanting to bill Johnny Depp for their time in the redacting and all the things that had to happen. But bottom line is this. They presented the email chain, right? We all saw it. We all remember. We all heard it being read out loud. And the truth of the matter is that there was an email exchange that spoke specifically about Johnny Depp. A couple of them. First, there was the one where it was, well, we have to edit this because of the NDA about the divorce. Hold on. Then there was the exchange where they were working on trying to word it in such a way that they didn't need to say his name. That's it, Elaine. So stop playing with these people out here, okay? Stop acting like we didn't hear the same evidence that you did. You just have a different perception of the and if you can take take Johnny Depp's testimony away, take Amber Heard's testimony away completely. Don't pretend you don't even remember what they testified to or when they were on direct or cross-examination. Take away both metadata experts because essentially they cancel each other out. What you can do is you can look at the two pictures that were shown side by side, period. It is impossible. Time doesn't work. Time works one way, all right? And it's relative, but it's still time, all right? There's rules to time. So, I'm going to get to that for just a second, but my point is that the pictures had the exact same timestamp down to the second, but they were visually different. And the only way that occurs is if there is some editing done to the photograph, period. The taking out of color, the adding of color, whatever it was that was done to that picture, and I don't know because I didn't do it, but something was done to make it visually different, period. You can see the difference in it. So explain that one, Elaine. I mean, you can take away the Johnny Depp element, take away his testimony, his funny trial moments, take all of that away. Take Amber Heard's testimony out of it. My dog got stoned with a bee. I mean, you can take it all away and the evidence is still the evidence, period. It's ridiculous. And hold on. Can you highlight Molson Man's comment again, please? Shemada. I was thinking about this today, just in general, right? You can have the best you can have the best attorneys in the world, Okay. And Elaine and Rottenborn, they made mistakes. That's what people make mistakes. Okay. They didn't make mistakes, in my opinion, they made mistakes that were comedic to the audience. They were not detrimental to the trial. They weren't make or break moments. Even the guy that objected, Nadelhoff, to his own question, right? It was a clumsy trial moment. Those do happen quite frequently. It's not that big of a deal. It's just funny. But the case is the case. And she doesn't, the bottom line is that there wasn't a good case. And Elaine did the best she could with what she had. And that's all she can do. She provided a good defense, and I guess it was more than a defense, because she was also presenting as, because of the counterclaim. But bottom line is, she did a good job. The evidence just wasn't in her favor. She made the best out of the situation. Her choices in outfit, everything else aside that were commented on, because I did it too. I mean, some of the stuff that they did, all of them was funny, and the pastels and that dadgum lavender jacket. I just can't with that thing. The muffins, the dinner, all those things were like, oh my God, but at the end of the day, she's advocating for her client, and she actually is a very good attorney. And that's why I'm not trying to hear that from Amber Heard. Well, Johnny had better attorneys because he had more money. Because I don't believe that. Ooh, Nonstop Mom. How exciting. Look, Coolest Reviews. Shmita's been coming in here and coasting as a mod. Just coasting. I'm make her work tonight. Just kidding. Can you imagine if I was like that, though? I appreciate Shmita. None of my mods coast. You're all great.
No, I didn't even tell anyone I was coming up.
No, you didn't. You just popped up. I was like, oh, it's Shmita. So yeah, okay.
Hello.
So let's hear the rest of this. Hang on, let me get hold on. All right, here we go.
For that. What they learned from the UK case is to demonize Amber, which is what they did, and to try to suppress as much of the evidence that came in the UK and did not come in the United States. But the other problem is we had cameras in the courtroom. So here we had, not only did we have a group of Depp fans that were there every day, 100 were allowed in. They lined up at 1 o'clock in the morning for their wristbands to be in that courtroom. But we had everything on camera, and we had tremendous social media that was very, very, very much against Amber.
It was pointed out that was the first time that a victim of sexual abuse had to testify on live television.
And I fought hard and lost that battle.
So,
it should not have happened.
So I am a former NFL player, and after a hard loss, it's easy to wake up and point to the other side. Oftentimes, I realized the better thing to do was to look in the mirror.
Boom.
What mistakes did I make as a player? What mistakes did our coaching staff make? And then how can we improve from there? Do you feel like you guys made any mistakes along the way? Do you feel like Amber made a mistake while she was on the stand? Because you're saying it's the celebrity, it's Johnny, it's the people who support him. But what about you and your team?
Asking the important
that's an excellent
questions.
question. And to say, and Amber even said on the stand, I am not perfect. I am a human being. These people were giving her death threats. They threatened to microwave her baby. This is the kind of social media she was getting. So are any of us perfect? No. Is there something else we feel we should have done? Yes, absolutely. I redo my closings 100 times afterwards, whether I win or lose. That's part of being a good lawyer, a good trial lawyer, is
Right.
There's always something. But I think that there were a lot of influences here that were beyond our control. And I think the social media, it was like a Roman Colosseum.
Stop. Okay. First of all, Elaine,
Look at her
Thank you.
face. She's
We're
like,
in.
no.
yeah. Oh, Gail ain't buying it.
No.
Exactly. Christine G. Here's the thing about that. If this is the problem now, Amber, see, you can't, I don't know if Amber was read or ever had the opportunity to read herself the tale of Peter and the Wolf. I'm sure you guys all know it. Almost every kid knows it because it's how your parents teach you about lying and crying wolf. That's why they call it that, right? So there's that. And that's the problem, is that now because she has been proven to be less than honest about claims, now everybody wants to see, and they're right to want to see the proof of that. And if that occurred, Elaine, as her attorney, unlike the other attorney who advised her not to cooperate with the police, why don't you turn that over to law enforcement where that type of a claim really belongs? It's, yes, Amber mentioned it on the stand. Now you're mentioning it on the morning show or whatever the hell it is we're watching that I can't remember the name of. But, like, that's where that belongs. That's absolutely where that belongs, is in the hands of law enforcement. And the truth of the matter is that nobody ever expected Amber to be perfect. And it is, I will agree with Elaine on one point. This is the first time. Well, no, it's not. It's not, because she's saying that this is the first time that somebody that an SA victim has had to testify live, and that's not true. As we watched it before we did the Johnny Depp trial, we watched Ezra McCandless, and she had to testify, and she said that she was the victim of SA. So that's not true. I will say it's different for Amber, and just like it was different for Ezra. If this were a criminal trial and Amber was simply the victim and a witness, right, at a criminal trial against her alleged perpetrator, then they would not have shown her face on camera, and she would have been referred to in the documents as Jane Doe. But the way that our system works in the United States is that you have the right to face your accuser, period. And I think that had the cameras not been there, I think that there would have been a lot more accusations coming out of that side, which is unfortunate. But I'm really glad that they were there, because they both say that they wanted their story out, right? They wanted the truth out, and they have very different versions of the truth. And at the end of the day, for me, what it came down to was the evidence presented. Not so much, although I listened to their testimony, but of course, each side is going to ask the questions that they want to ask in order to elicit the response that they want to get out of the person testifying. That's just how trials work. But I feel like, I just, let me push play because I'm annoyed.
Is the best way to describe the atmosphere here. And I have to believe that the jury, even though they're told
also, let me just take a moment here. I don't really appreciate her Roman Colosseum reference here. I don't know if Elaine is familiar with how the Roman Colosseums worked, but they fed human beings to lions, like actual living, breathing human people, right, to lions. Last I checked, Amber wasn't fed to anybody. Okay. So just that's it. I mean, normally I enjoy people who are extra AF, but this is no.
To go and look at anything. We had, they have weekends, they have families, they have
they were not
media.
sequestered. They were not sequestered.
And the 10-day period we had, how could they not have been influenced?
But Elaine, for most people watching this trial, and a lot of people, as you know, it got huge views. It just seemed to be so messy and salacious and so tawdry on both sides. And I think for a lot of people from the outside looking in thought both of them were not telling the truth, and that they mutually abused each other. Do you not believe that was the case?
No, and that's one of the many misnomers. The way that Depp's team approached this was based on ignorance of domestic violence. It completely ignored the cycle of violence and just said, oh, she wouldn't have done this if he had been hitting her. That was their approach.
So you thought that they weren't fighting fair?
Correct. I don't think they were fighting fair.
And you think
Absolutely.
Amber Heard is, in fact, a survivor of domestic violence?
Yes, I absolutely believe that. And there's a tremendous amount of evidence, much of which did not come into this trial, did come into the UK trial. We even had more evidence. We had medical records. We had mental health records that went back to 2012 that were contemporaneous. We had text messages from Mr. Depp's assistant saying, when I told him that he had kicked you, he cried.
So how
Okay. Shmita, you got anything?
We got a truck going by. 1 second.
Okay. So I cannot. I have a very, very difficult time believing that there were medical records that substantiate Amber Heard's claims simply for the fact that Amber Heard got up on that stand herself and said that she did not seek medical attention for any of the injuries she sustained. So I'm very curious.
Not even the bottle. When there was
Correct.
medical
Right.
professionals there that
Right.
could have checked her.
Right. Or at the very least, right, while they had whisked Johnny Depp away to get his finger attended to, maybe she could have discreetly gone to the hospital as well. You know,
Yeah.
she could have gone with him to the hospital under the guise that she was a concerned wife, and then spoke to a doctor if she didn't trust the doctors that were there. There's a lot of things that could have happened, but at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is Amber herself, Elaine, and you need to really wrap your brain around this. Amber's testimony was that, for most people, bruises and stuff like that are, I'm very lucky. I healed very quickly, right? And actually, what's funny to me is that she talked about the bruises on her body being worse than the bruises on her face, which I find interesting because that's literally the opposite of how every other human being on the planet's body works. See, your head is one of the most vascular parts of your body. Okay, because of the brain, got to get all that blood and the oxygen up into the brain. That's why head wounds bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed and bleed, even if they don't require stitches, because your head has a lot of, veins and capillaries and all of these things. So that's why bruises on your face last longer, they look worse, yada yada yada, because of the way that every human being is different, right? But by a little, but biologically, we're all pretty much the same, right? Which is why we don't all have our own individual doctors who specialize in our bodies, because obviously, yes, not every, but because everybody is an individual. However, biologically, the way that our systems work and all of these things, we're all pretty much the same. Like Shmita's, if you put Shmita and I and you stood us next to each other, Shmita's pancreas might be 1/4 of an inch to the left, farther or closer to the left than mine, right? But she has a pancreas in the same general vicinity as my pancreas. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. It's laughable to how would those records though exist? How would they have existed when Amber Heard testified that she didn't seek medical treatment? The only time she ever had sought any treatment was some type of consultation over the phone and then in the office briefly in case she was concussed. That's it. They do. It's just ridiculous. Like Amber, if you're like a lizard person or whatever, you got to keep it maybe better on the low, because if your body works completely the opposite of how everybody else's body works, that's going to be a red flag for the man. I'm just telling you.
How is she
didn't come
today,
in.
Elaine? How is she today? What
She's
is her
heartbroken.
next move?
She's right. Well, her next move is appeal. There were
Well,
a
she's
number.
heartbroken.
She is heartbroken. And one of the first things that she said when she came back from the verdict, when we went into the conference room, was, "I am so sorry to all these women." That's
She said
Yeah.
that?
yes. She felt like she had let down all of these women because she had more evidence than most people do, and yet they still didn't believe her.
Elaine Charleston, Bretta Hoff, thank you.
Peace out, girl. So yeah, that's Elaine. And wow, she had more evidence than most people, and you should be sorry to women. Actually, see, this is my problem with this whole situation, Amber. You need to be sorry, not just to women. Just victims is enough, right? Victims aren't as we know now, and we've learned in greater detail, that domestic violence is not exclusive to women. Now, does it happen more commonly to women? Probably only in that where there's more females on the planet than there are males. That's just true. But then I don't know how accurate those numbers would be, simply for the fact that men don't report in the same way that women do. And there hasn't been the outreach for men in the way that there is now resources and stuff for women. And that does definitely need to change. So the truth of the matter is that I'm getting tired of I believe in equality, right? So I guess you could say that in a way I'm a feminist because I believe in the core feminism mantra, which is equality, not this escalation and everything that's happened. I feel that it's a human being issue, it's a person issue, right? And that I believe in equality. So when somebody is violent or somebody says abusive things, to me, it isn't so much a gender issue as it is a humanity issue, a human issue. Nobody should be putting their hands on anybody ever. That's the truth. And in order for the jury to have believed Amber Heard, they would have to completely leave their common sense at the door and forget literally how a door works. How is it that Amber was barricading herself into the bedroom and Johnny Depp was in the bathroom? Hello, just if you guys don't believe me, because I did it, go walk around your house. The only doors that open outwards, right, are like closet doors. Your bedroom door opens from the hallway into the bedroom. Your bathroom door opens into the bathroom. So if she were trying to first of all, if she were trying to keep him out of the bedroom, essentially she would have been trying to keep him in the bathroom, which I'm pretty sure is tantamount to at least forced captivity, I would think. But the way that she described everything taking place, it's the way that the injuries occurred to her that she says happened would have only occurred from her pushing in the door, right, to get into the bathroom. If she were trying to keep him in the bathroom, she'd be pulling towards herself, towards the bedroom, right? Like, hello, that's how doors work, period. I also want to bring up this other situation because this other talk about this cancel culture. Let me just say this right here and right now. Amber Heard was not canceled. Okay. She didn't lose anything. Any deals that she had, she got paid for. And as far as Aquaman goes, Aquaman 2, again, you have to understand the comics. You have to understand the story of Aquaman. All right. Mira is not integral to the plot. She's very much like Alfred. Bruce Wayne's butler, there for some advice, a little pep talk. That's about the extent of it. You could make Aquaman 2 and have no contact with Mira, and the movie would not really change. And that's the truth. And the other part of that is she got paid for it. And after this loss, if Warner Brothers is watching social media, and by the way, they do watch social media, and they also watch box office sales, and they do, all kinds of stuff to see tests, yada yada yada, all the things, right? Because they're invested. Aquaman 2 is not an inexpensive movie to make. It's not like the Blair Witch Project. It's not even like the original Halloween. Right? Those were really super cheap movies to make. Aquaman is going to be an expensive movie to make. And if their fan base is saying to them, we don't care about Mira at all, right? If you want to replace Amber Heard as Mira and reshoot Amber Heard and Mira's scene, the Mira scenes with Jason Momoa with Aquaman, that's cool. But if you want to cut Mira out completely, that's cool too. And her role in Aquaman, it was always an option, number one. And number two, it was never intended for her to be like, Mira is not to Aquaman as Robin is to Batman. It's not the same thing. And that's what's annoying to me when I hear people talking about cancel culture. First of all, cancel culture, is it a thing? Well, yeah, it's a thing. Is it an effective tool? No. Think about the people that have been canceled. Jeffree Star at one time, canceled. Shane Dawson, canceled. What's the other makeup guy? James Charles, canceled. Last I checked, they're all still making money. So is it a thing? Yes. Is it an effective tool? No. And is it permanent? Also no. So what ifs? Yes, the analyst. And this is important because there may be other court cases for other people, but for me, because of the age that I am, right? Nicole Brown Simpson changed the way that domestic violence is handled in the United States. Most states adopted we're not going to, if we're called out on a domestic violence call, and we arrive and somebody has marks on them, so the other party is going to jail, and we're not even going to make the victim cooperate because we understand how that can be. So the state is going to pick up the charges regardless of victim cooperation. And that was huge, right? But it happens to men too. And me and Christine talked about this, and I'm going to say it this one last time. I'll probably say it again, but this last time for tonight. We have to do better for our sons. It's not enough for us to raise our boys with the understanding that they're not to hit women and that no means no. Those are all very important things to teach our sons. But we also need to educate our boys on that they can be victims of domestic violence, and that if they report it, they're no less of a man for reporting it. In fact, it takes a strong person, period, when they're hit, not to hit back, because it's a gut instinct to protect yourself, right? And the ability to be in a situation where you would need to protect yourself, but you refrain from doing so because you're stronger, right? It's like, when we're raising our children, all toddlers hit. They all hit. I've been hit by my kids, right? But I'm in a completely, first of all, I'm an adult, right? And second of all, I outweigh them by hundreds of pounds, not hundreds. I'm like 137. I don't even like talking about that. Anyway, Bottom line is, I certainly at 137, 140 pounds weigh more than a 2-year-old. So for me to hit a 2-year-old back is ridiculous, right? So if you're bigger and you're stronger and you refrain from hitting, you're actually not the weaker individual, which I found interesting about Amber in those audios, because every time that was her chief complaint, is that he would not engage, that he would walk away, yada, yada, yada. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's that's the bigger, more important conversation we need to be having with our boys. And we should teach our children not to allow anyone to hurt them. And that regardless of who it is that's hurting them, that it is okay and the right thing to do to tell. I guess Shmita got tired of clicking, highlighting, and being on the panel, and she just dipped. So, and we need to exactly like what Molson Man is saying about his friend, right? We need to we as a society, we've come a long way in the things that we are now like talking about, subjects that were so very taboo, we talk about now. And this is one of those ones that now we need to do better and talk about. So, what are you laughing at, Christina? Or Christine G? I didn't mean to say Christina. Christine. And she did. She wanted to engage. She absolutely wanted to engage. And that's, I mean, I'm not gonna argue about whether or not a true victim would do that or not, because at the end of the day, people handle things everybody handles things differently. And so I'm not gonna weigh in on that. What I will say is, when they played when the audio tapes were played and you could hear them, you hear that she was the aggressor in the arguing every single time. She is, hey, Jeanette. Just, she was the aggressor, period, and the instigator in the arguments. And she is the first person who would escalate arguments. And I agree with the analyst. I think that, and maybe people won't agree with me. And I will say that at the end of the day, parenting choices are for parents. Okay. I'm not advocating for schools to take it out of the parents' hands, but we all went through some form of sex education in high school. Right. And they even would separate the guys from the girls. I'm not talking about the puberty class. I'm talking about like in high school, where they really broke it down. And they separated the girls from the guys. And I don't know what they talked to the guys about, because I'm not a guy, but I do know what they talked to the girls about. And they talked to us about, no means no, and that if you don't want to do something, you don't have to do it, and you shouldn't be guilted, yada yada. That's that whole thing. I think we need to start talking differently, and have more open dialogue about domestic violence, because it happens in high school too. There are, do you guys remember the Candace Cameron and Fred Savage movie, No One Would Tell? Yeah. So like we can't be teaching our kiddos with Lifetime movies. Like, we actually have to have like conversations. So and she did, so it happens to both, it happens to both. And I just feel like we're doing a disservice to our sons if we're only talking about how they can be perpetrators against women, period. Like, and that's, I mean, we're also not, we also, and this is another thing we're not actually talking about with domestic violence. We also need to have broader conversations, broader than just man, between men and women, because it happens in same-sex relationships as well. So, we just need to do better for our kids and educate them. That's all I'm saying. And she all of those pictures, and I talked about this on Better Call Tor, which again, you guys, such a good channel. She is such a cool person. Her chat is so cool. It's like hanging out it's like hanging out at Better Call Tor is like hanging out at the ward, but with an Australian accent. And I actually think that Tor might be funnier than I am, because she had me cracking up. This too. See, and this is important as well, Nui and Honey, because the reason why there is a audience at trials really is because it's a checks and balance system. So we just have better technology now, right? We don't have to go and be in person at the trial. Now they broadcast it, but it's to keep our courts accountable, because that's what our system is built on. So I think that there being spectators and watching the trial, there's always going to be people that perceive the evidence differently, and that's okay, right? But I just don't think that this was a miscarriage of, thank you, Jean Duffy. So sweet of you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't think that this trial was a miscarriage of justice at all. I thought the verdicts were actually very, very fair. And I thought that Judge Penny coming back and saying, okay, we're going to, for the punitive damages, it's capped at a certain amount, and that's how it went. And, it is what it is. So I'm so glad you made it in here, Jean, because I know you're a busy gal. Oh, thank you, Anaphylaxis. I appreciate that so much. Thank you guys both so much. I'm just, I want to thank everybody for showing up tonight, because it's been a week, over a week, since I've been live on my channel. And just the fact that you guys all showed up and aren't like, well, screw you, I appreciate that so, so much. And, I'm excited for this trial. I'm excited, but I'm kind of hesitant, because remember we talked about the Anthony Tote trial, and I thought that it was going to be like longer. And what was it? I think 3 days. I know it took me longer to make the introduction video than the trial itself. And so I'm kind of hesitant if this is a quickie. There is another trial coming up also in June. It's the Playboy model murder trial. She's accused of murdering her psychiatrist. So, like, there's, we'll have some stuff. And you know what? If worst case scenario, we'll go back, we'll revisit an old trial. There's another trial that is coming up too that Mo has been talking to me about. And this whole time, I didn't put 2 and 2 together. So, there's another member of the family that's currently in jail right now, and is awaiting trial. And I don't know when the trial is going to be, but I want to, yes, FSU. I did not put 2 and 2 together. I remember seeing the story of the oh, thank you. I've learned a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You guys are so sweet. You guys are great. You're so supportive. I wanted anyway. I had watched. I know I watched Snapped, and I'm pretty sure that I watched an ID special on that case. And Mo has been like talking to me about it, and Dr. B too. For like they've been taught the whole week. I was like not paying attention to anything really, and they were, and I would participate in the conversation, but it never occurred to me. So this is the trial with the family that put a hit out on their son-in-law, and it has to do with a custody case. And the whole week they were talking about it, and then all of a sudden yesterday, or maybe it was Saturday, yeah, one of those days, Saturday, Friday, or Saturday. Anyway, and I was like, "Hey, is this the case about that it ended up because of a custody, and they were dentists, and they're and Mo, I mean, bless her heart, she has to be patient with me. I know she exercised great restraint when she responded with, "That's what I've been talking about all week. Where have you been?" Like, I mean, I felt so silly, but yeah. Oh, thank you, Jean. I'm so glad that you could pop in. It means a lot to me. I hope you're doing really well. I keep up with you on Facebook, and I see your pictures and stuff, and I can't believe how everybody is growing up so much. It's crazy. But I'm glad you were able to pop in, and I can't wait for you to catch me live again too. Hey, Vincent's missing ear. What's going on? Yeah, so I hadn't intended for this live to be too terribly long. I just needed to get back in the saddle again and talk to you guys and visit, and you know, I've missed all of you guys. I didn't really have like a whole lot to really go over because we kind of like the trial is done, and I had the best time though with you guys coming in the mornings and doing and watching the trials. I really think I want to do that again. Like I feel like um I want to um I want to do some streaming in the morning with this case as well, and doing recaps at night. There there is another case that oh, I know what it was. I believe it's also in Florida too, but let me just check my pictures cuz I took a screenshot of it cuz I saw a preview for it. So let me looky here real quick. Let's see what I did with it. Trying to find it. Oh, that's an unfortunate angle of your girl. Shmeda said, "Oh, Molson man, thank you so much. You're so sweet. Thank you so much. Did you send another one, Anaphylaxis? Thank you so much." Thank you, Christine. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. So Shmita sent me a picture, sent a picture, and she was all bundled up in the morning, and I was like, "Why are you so bundled up? It's freaking June." And I took a picture of me in my PJs. I got lunch lady arms. This is a very unfortunate angle. So because I know I took this picture. Where is it? I know I took a screenshot. It's the killer clown one. It's been like 19 years in the making. You know which one I'm talking about, you guys? Holy poop. I can't find it. I can't find the screenshot. But yes, that's the other one. Oh, Vincent's missing ear. Well, I hope everything goes good with your mom. And that's really, listen, I hope my kids will say that about me. Not that they won't be on YouTube talking about, look, I finally got my mom into a home. Like the bitch was really getting on my nerves. Like I would hope that one of my children would be like, I'm gonna, move my mom into our home and we're gonna take care of her. That's what I would hope. I mean, I feel like I've earned it. I've wiped their butts a ton. So like it would be nice if they would, do the same for me and take care of me. But I feel like I'm gonna be in a fucking home, you guys. I'm, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I bet that's the only thing. That'll be the only thing that my kids ever like agree on that they don't fight about is putting mom in a home. I can't find that stupid screenshot. Hold on. Let me just go to, I know where to look for it. For the answer. Oh, wrong thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that'll be the only thing my kids don't argue about. Putting mom in a home. And that's fine. Put me in a home. I don't care. I will make the best of my situation and I'll rule that home. And I'll be the champion at bocce ball. So there you go. I feel like it was an advertisement on Court TV. Because I remember, and then it's not going to be until like August. I was super excited to see it because I know you guys know the case. I know you guys know the case because it's been featured on like a ton of shows. Here we go. The clown murder trial. Oh, let me put it on Court TV so y'all can hear it. Hold on. I found it. All right, here we go. Also, speaking of things found, I found Alice's collar, you guys, and she looks so cute. She has a, it's got the little bell, but but the cutest part about it is that it has a flower, and she just looks so stinking cute, and she hates it. Hates it. She's been really, really trying to get that collar off since I found it. I can't. I'm not going to take it off of her. First of all, she runs around outside and sometimes I can't find her like out in the backyard. So I need it for location. And then, she just looks so snazzy, you guys. I'm going to have to take a picture. I just had it. Where's it at? Here we go. All right. Let me put it. Hold on. Let me put it let me share it with you guys because this one's been like 19 years in the making or something like that. All right. Okay. All right. This is your trigger warning. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they do show a clown in here somewhere at some point. So if you don't like clowns, avert your eyes. All right, here we go.
30 years ago, a person dressed as a clown, holding flowers and balloons, rang the doorbell at Marlene Warren's home. But when Marlene answered, the clown shot her to death.
It was one of the worst days of my life.
Advanced DNA testing led authorities to Sheila Keene Warren. The defendant ended up marrying the victim's husband.
She wanted to marry him. She had to get rid of his wife.
This is going to be a riveting case, pairing a classic lover's triangle with modern forensics.
It's like a Lifetime movie plot.
We're talking about 30 years ago. Memories fade, evidence fade.
They can take the lack of evidence and create reasonable doubt.
I have seen convictions in cases, even though there's no murder weapon or no body.
From my knowledge of the case, she's innocent.
I mean, this is an unreal case.
So there you go. That's that. I don't, I feel like, yes. So this, if I'm remembering right, and it's, I'm kind of rusty because it's been a minute since, I've followed or like read anything or seen anything on the story. But the deal is that, for the longest time, um, like, they didn't have the forensics to to do any like comparisons and stuff like that, but they hung on to all of this evidence. So basically what happens is this woman answers her door, and there is a clown there carrying flowers, holding flowers. It's like supposed to be a clown delivery, and it, what it, obviously the accused allegedly is this woman. And I'm trying to, I have to look more back into it and really refresh my memory more because I'm really rusty about it. But from what I remember, there were pieces of like the clown, the wig, that were found at the scene, and then they were found in this woman's home. But it was really, it's not that there was like a complete lack of evidence. It's just that the technology hadn't caught up. And so, where, if I'm not mistaken, they've been trying to catch this woman. The case is 30 years old, but I feel like they've been trying to try her for like 19 years, something like that. It's really crazy. And so, yes, Molson man, yes, 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 yes. And so, this is a big, huge one. Also, I'm not, now I know that you guys might be interested in this, and I get it, but I'm not going to cover it. R. Kelly is coming up for trial. I'm not going to cover that case. But there's other, cases that are coming up that are going to be good for us to cover, interesting cases and stuff. And they definitely, we're, the Johnny Depp situation, that's like once in a lifetime. That doesn't, those kind of court cases, not once in a lifetime, but they're rare. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, yes, Molson. It was all like, it was a lot of old fashioned, really, like pounding the pavements, detective work. But then they have used newer technology to, really, um, really, bring this to trial, which I find, which I have to say, I always find those cases really fascinating, because there's no statute of limitations on murder, right? You can be tried for that anytime. And well, let me tell you something, AJ. We don't have weather here, right? Like, well, we have weather. That's not the right word. We don't have seasons here. And I think that that is what it is. I think that we have too much sunshine in our systems, I think. And I think that's why every once in a while they throw, like, this weekend we were supposed to get this tropical storm, and I mean, we did get it. It just was a little south of me, like closer to kind of where I used to live, although where I used to live and where I live now isn't that far apart. But excuse me, when the storms like that. But we got a really mainly just a ton of rain. And not really even as much as I thought we were going to get, or they even thought we were going to get where I am. I mean, obviously way further south, they got a ton of the rain. But I'm always cognizant of hurricane season. It started June 1st. It ends November 30th, I think it is, or November 1st. But the Gulf is really warm, which is the side that I am on. But also they are saying that the Atlantic Ocean is warmer than normal too. So that's, you know, it is what it is. I live in Florida, and before I lived in Florida, I lived in Texas, and every spring in Texas was tornado weather, and you just knew that, about between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, when the thunderstorms started rolling in, that there was always a potential for severe weather, whether it be a tornado or a hail or any of that crap. So it is what it is. You can't avoid weather. So, we'll just take it as it comes. So, but anyway, so that's what's coming up. So we got tons of stuff. Plus, I still want to go over I do want to do a video on the Candy Montgomery case. I promised Team Psych Word that I would cover that for her. And then I was thinking, since June is Father's Day, maybe we could do something on Sundays about fathers. Obviously, I can't ignore Watts, so he'll have a little, like, a part about him, but there's other far more fascinating, if you want, that I don't have issues with being on the island. So I want to do that too on Sundays. So you guys be looking out for that. So that's why I took that whole week, because I knew that I was going to be doing trials, and or at least a trial for sure. But I also knew I had other, like, content that I wanted to do, and that the videos, they take a while. So we got to do the first. You got to do the research on each case, then you got to put it together. It's not like hard. It's just it's a lot. I always like to put together visually compelling stuff to go along with the research on these cases that I do. So plus I like doing the videos. But anyway, so I knew I had that stuff coming up, and so I was like, well, this is probably going to be the only like break I get. Like, I should just take advantage of it being kind of chill right now, and then just, like, go full force over the summer. So yeah. So anyway, I want to thank you guys all for being here tonight. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you guys for just everything, just the support you guys give. Thank you to the mods. Just showing up is, awesome. And Vincent's missing ear. I just think what you're doing for your mom is just so incredible. And if you need anything, just don't hesitate to reach out. My email is in the about section. Even if you just, need to vent anything, just, reach out. And your Ward family has you. We will definitely support you. No, the bell came there. The bell came with the caller, Coolest Reviews. So, but yeah, anyway, so thank you guys all for being here. And I'll be careful out on these YouTube streets. They're turned for some reason, and they're on fire. So be safe out there. And I guess I will see you guys back here. If they start the trial in the morning, if jury selection's done, then I'll go live in the morning, and we'll do a little little morning sesh, and then we'll do one in the afternoon. It came on the bell, Coolest Reviews. How do I get it off? And why don't I want her to wear the bell? The bell is why I have it on her, because I need to be able to hear her when she goes in the backyard, because all along the fence line is the trees and, like, the bush and stuff like that, and I can't find her, especially if sometimes she'd be sneaking out when I go out for a nighttime sig, and I don't even see her because she's sneaky. But yes, I will definitely see you over there, BR the Star. But anyway, I'm going to end it for now. Like I said, if the trial starts in the morning, tomorrow morning, I'll go live. If not, if they start later in the afternoon or whatever, or even if they don't, she doesn't need to hunt. I feed her. And actually, that's, she caught a lizard and she's wearing it, so she doesn't need to hunt. But anyway, I know, but she can't be stealthy because she's escaped on me a couple of times as cement shoes. Um, I was outside and I didn't see her go into the front yard, and that's where the cars are at. So, like, it is what it is. But anyway, we will figure it out. If they don't start tomorrow, we'll talk about something else. I'll find something. You guys know I always find something to talk about. So you guys all take care, and I will see y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye.